Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the third and final practice session ahead of the 2024 Bahrain Grand Prix. Welcome in. Please do drop me a like on the stream. It helps the YouTube algorithm realise that I exist. And please do subscribe as well. Only 12 away from 500 now. So first little tiny minuscule milestone on the channel. But yeah, only 12 away from 500. So do subscribe. This is the first of 3 streams today. I don't think I've ever done 3 streams in a day, to be honest. So we've got final practice now. Then we've got the F2 sprint race at 2 o'clock. And then at 3:45 is F1 qualifying, where we get the first proper look at who is going to challenge Verstappen this year in the F1 World Championship. Mercedes looking rapid. But is it true? Is it legit? Is it real? We'll find out tonight. We'll find out about 5 o'clock tonight when Verstappen takes the fuel out of the car and puts the soft tyres on. Then we'll have a look. But Mercedes looking much better than what I thought, to be honest. I had it a clear Red Bull top, Ferrari second going into this weekend, just going off purely off testing times. That was my running order. It was Red Bull, then it was Ferrari, then it was McLaren, Mercedes and Aston. Not a lot to separate them. But Mercedes coming out of the blocks rapid yesterday afternoon, and even the drivers being interviewed in the afternoon pretty much really surprised with the pace of the Mercedes, and a good surprise. So with that, I'm keeping myself open-minded. You never know. You never do know until we get to quali and then Red Bull actually push. Then we'll see. Like I say, the gap determines how good this season's going to be. So massive qualifying sessions now. As I said yesterday, please do join me for qualifying later on at 3:45 because it is arguably the biggest session of the season. Because at the end of that concludes and sort of puts together what this season will hold. So do join me this afternoon for the first qualifying session of the season. But before that, final practice. But yes, SHT, mate, welcome to the stream. I was in a bit of a bad mood yesterday, but I'm all right now. Do you know what I mean? I come on grumpy yesterday. I was like, oh, Red Bull are 2 light years ahead, and my camera settings aren't right. But today, much better. We go. Mercedes had a bit of pace yesterday, so I'm feeling a lot better. And proper pumped and ready for this season now. But yes, Chrissy, welcome to the stream, mate. We're talking about F2 quali yesterday. Yeah, it's weird, man. I'll get into that in a minute about Prema at the back of the grid, which is a rip because I was hoping for the Kimi Antonelli. You know, I'm ordering Kimi Antonelli merch. Do you know what I mean? I'm fully backing it, but P18 on the grid. You do well to win it from there. Prema not looking too great. But yes, Lewis, welcome to the stream, bro. I'm doing good, mate. Fully ready for the brand new F1 season. Come on in a bit of a strop yesterday because the camera's messing about, making me pale and then bright orange. But you know what I mean. It is what it is, so get over it. So I'm over it. So I'm fully ready for this season now. Prema, yeah, exactly, SHE, that's it. Prema was one of the best and big names in F2 history. And no, I don't know what's going on with Prema because their 2 drivers as well are arguably, you know, the best 2 drivers. Well, you know, they're looking really good, aren't they? Kimi Antonelli and Ollie Behrman is a hell of a lineup. So to qualify 17th and 18th, or 18th, yes, is it 17th and 18th? Is I was watching it yesterday. In fact, I couldn't watch it live. I watched it when I got home last night, and I was like, come on, Antonelli, and it's like P18. It's like, what is going on? But yeah, watch whole new Merc car come out in quali. What? Nah. That's it. What they were rolling around yesterday is it. But I think the Mercedes pace was that good yesterday that George Russell was like confused. He's like, I saw the interview with George Russell yesterday, and like there was one line of that interview, and I just sort of went, ooh, Are they actually in contention here? Like, obviously, my dreams might be shattered in the next hour, or my dreams might be shattered tonight at 5 o'clock. But until then, let a man dream, innit? Let a man dream. Like, I think that, like, George Russell is genuinely, like, confused. He said something like, "We've got an advantage. Now it's just trying to keep hold of that advantage." And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Do they think they're genuinely quickest here? Like, in the back of their head, in the back of George Russell's head, is he going, "Oh, we've got a chance here"? Do you know? And if he thinks they might have a sneaky chance, I'm definitely thinking they've got. Do you know what I mean? I'll take any slither of positivity and turn it into a full overblown hype, mate. 100%, because we've not had a lot of that from the 3 days of testing, and FP1. You know, it's been a bit of a well, poll by how much, how many races out of 24 does he win? But if Mercedes can show that pace at the end of this practice session here today, because they'll do some quali runs at the end. Even Max Verstappen is going to have to do a quali run at the end of this practice session just to get his eye in. They're going to have to roll with the soft tyres. They're going to have to do a low fuel run. They're going to have to do a quali simulator. They don't have to. But the general way that they do final practices at the end, they will do a qualifying simulation. And if Mercedes are still right up there, even if they're 2 and 3 and close to Max, or if they're ahead of Max, certainly, then they'd bring on quali this afternoon. Like I say, I had the order firmly being it was Red Bull, Ferrari. By my predictions there, which I did before first practice, I had it 2 Red Bulls, 2 Ferraris, then Mercedes, McLaren, Mercedes, Aston, just in the mix, not a whole lot to separate them. And that was the vibe coming into the weekend, with Aston Martin, Alonso pulling out something for a P8, and then RB looking sort of good in the midfield, maybe Ricciardo scraping a point, but you never know. I think they're talking about Mercedes FP2 pace now, actually, on Sky. But yeah, Hamilton quick. Hamilton 1, Russell 2 yesterday. So there's a glimmer. I'm not saying, I can't sit here and go Mercedes for the championship. Let's have a do. But I'm saying, maybe it's not Verstappen by a second tonight. Maybe it's half a second. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not a full second. People got other things, Mercedes got something to say about it, and I'm happy about that. No way. Cushmaney's got disqualified. For what? I haven't heard this. Because it was Invicta 1-2, wasn't it? Cushmaney and his... is it Bortoletto? They 1-2. Oh, this is the new intro. I'm going to just whack these on a minute. It's not as good as last year's intro, is it? Oscar Piastri, George Russell, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris. Lewis has definitely got the best little intro piece here. Alonso. Hamilton. Bam, bam, bam. Let's go, Bahrain at final practice. Lewis, of the little, each driver gets a half a second little, do you know what I mean? Each driver gets a little half a second little pose in the intro. Lewis is absolutely slaps. Everyone else is just like... Lewis is like... I don't even know. It's like... let's fucking go. I'm in with a fight this season. Maybe he's in with a fighting chance this season. Yeah, they did go a bit boring. They did go, I know, the Russell, what was it like? The Russell, cross legs and hands up here. Yeah. That was just a meme, though, wasn't it? That was just a meme, that. Right, let me turn this down a bit. But yeah, man, that is the new intro. I was just seeing that for the first time because I missed it yesterday, actually. But Lewis is definitely slaps on that. But yeah, so let me catch up with what you're saying, SHT. So Kush Miney or Maney, I think you say it. Indian driver got disqualified from pole. Mad. So last year's F3 champion, yeah, Gabriel Bortoleto is a starting pole for his. Why did he get disqualified? As well, I saw that as well. SHT like Haas. You know, again, like with my sort of presumptions, or the general presumptions in F1 is that Haas are just stone dead last, like no hope. But yesterday, in the long runs, it didn't look that bad, I don't think, for Haas. You know, I think, was it Hulkenberg? Was like mid table, and it's like, okay, maybe they're not stone dead last. Maybe they've got a fighting chance with Sauber and Alpine. Alpine's looking dodgy, mate. I'm not gonna lie, Alpine's looking. Alpine ain't it, is it? Do you know what I mean? Alpine are looking. You know what? Alpine. I think you could get like at least one Alpine knocked out in Q1 later on this afternoon. Do you know what I mean? You could end up with like an Ocon starting 17th and Gasly 15th or something like that in the race. Like that is fully what I'm expecting. Like a 17th, 15th kind of a lineup for Alpine. It's looking peak. But yeah, they did go a bit boring with the intro. So following post-qualifying inspection, steering rules that the height of the left under tray front external straight from Kush's car was below the required minimum height. Oh, what? The ride height was too low. Oh, Hamilton pole. But yeah, so Kush Miney, which is relative, because I'm doing. If you don't know, I'm not only doing F1 this season, I'm doing as many of the F2 races as I can. Now, in a Grand Prix weekend, there are 2 F2 races, a sprint race and a feature race. Now, I won't be able to do both of those, but I will be doing the sprint race for F2 this weekend and next weekend. Then after that, it'll probably be feature races. I'll probably just do the feature races, which take place like 3 hours before the F1. So on a Sunday, when the season gets going properly, because these first 2 are on a Saturday, then we got flyaways in flipping Japan, China, Australia. We got those. But once we go back to the European season, how it's going to work in terms of watch-alongs is there'll be like F1 quali on a Saturday, and then there'll be F2 feature race Sunday morning and F1 Grand Prix Sunday afternoon. That's generally how I'm thinking it's going to work. So yeah, we'll do F1 and F2. So I can't wait to properly get into it. Like, I've always had half an eye on F2 and seen highlights and seen the odd race here and there, but this is the year where it's like, not only does it give an entirely new avenue to the channel, in case we get Verstappen winning all 24 races, you know what I mean? We got another avenue of excitement to go down. Not only is it that, you know, it's twice as many streams, and also this is the year of big hype for F2 as well, with, you know, the driver lineup stacked. And so this is kind of the way to go. I feel like, if it is a Red Bull dominate, if it's not, if F1's exciting as well, then we've got 2 exciting championships. But worst case scenario, at least we've got 1 exciting championship to watch. Do you know what I mean? Worst case, you know, you got to think worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, Verstappen wins every race by 2.5 minutes. We've got F2 to get excited about. So it's a win on many aspects. So we're doing it. What's not a win on many aspects is the big hype on Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the 17-year-old Italian, starting P18. That's a little bit like, well, wasn't you supposed to dominate the series? This is not off to a great start. You know, I was getting full Antonelli hype I was on that full Antonelli hype train, and the train is hasn't got out of the station yet, but it's early doors, isn't it? It's early doors. Prema will be back to the factory on a big diagnosis on why they're a second off the pace. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Chris. Sorry to say, but we're using different engine. No, I don't want to hear it. I said this to Gav yesterday. I don't want to hear it, mate. But you're right. You're right. You're bang on. Verstappen's going to crush my dreams in a bit, but until then, got to stay positive, haven't we? Mercedes looking rapid. You know, there's no asterisks there. How quick? I don't know. But yeah, you're right. I mean, when we get a clearer picture at the end of this session, because I feel like he will do a qualifying sim run, so we get a better idea of just what we're in for this season. But hopefully it's not that bad. You know, hopefully it's not. Hopefully there's still some hope there. But yeah, Carl, Hamilton pole would absolutely. A Hamilton pole. Even if you know, the Red Bull race pace, this, that, and the other, and Verstappen absolutely smokes him in the race over 57 laps, the Hamilton pole would still slap. Absolutely. I was thinking before, actually. I'll get into it in a minute. But yeah, hearing that gossip about Haas, I was just going to say both Alpines out in Q1, it could be. Yeah, I know. I get drawn into that. I get drawn into hype like that. Do you know what I mean? I get drawn into it because I love it. Because it's excitement in it at the end of the day. Overhyping a driver, it's stupid, really. Like, the kid's 17, he's in his debut weekend, and the car's not looking great. He ain't probably going to get in the top 10. But I love the hype, though. I love it. I'm a fool for it. Do you know what I mean? I'm a fool for it. What can I say? Give me the hype. But yeah, what I was going to say is, I was thinking before that this is a really weird season for Hamilton, this. Because especially if Mercedes are better than expected, it gets really weird for Lewis. Because if Mercedes are quicker than Ferrari, he's in this weird position where he'll be, on one hand, he'll be pleased because, all right, we've turned a corner. Mercedes have had a couple of years where they've not really challenged, and now here we go. But then he's thinking, well, wait a minute. Basically, the better Mercedes are, the more he's going to regret his decision. So, really, I mean, what's ideal for Hamilton this year? Would he prefer Mercedes to be ahead of Ferrari, or would he prefer the Ferrari to be really good, knowing that he's going there next year? Because he wouldn't want to be, if he's in the Mercedes challenging for the win and Ferraris are down in 5th and 6th, and all of a sudden he's challenging Verstappen for the title, let's say, best case scenario, then he's going to be thinking, oh, wait a minute, have I jumped too soon here? So for Lewis, this is like, and I saw it in the interview yesterday, it was a weird vibe because Mercedes were quicker than they expected to be yesterday. They're interviewing Lewis, and he's kind of like, he's not that happy about it. He's just it's a bit of a weird vibe because he's not like, you know, you'd expect him to be like, yeah, oh, we're quickest, and the body language. The body language was weird. The body language was weird because he's like, oh, we're actually quick. This is now becoming a little bit awkward. Because almost in a way, if Mercedes were well off the pace this season, it'd just back his decision. He'd just be like, yeah, this car's shite. I knew it was going to be shite, and I'm going because I knew that, and I'm going anyway. But if Mercedes are quicker than Ferrari, it's like, ooh, I hope Ferrari are working on something behind the scenes, because it's a weird season for Lewis. It's not a straightforward one. Because it's a weirder situation than Sainz. Sainz knows he's going at the end of the season, but Sainz is sort of under a no pressure situation where he can just give it everything, and it doesn't really matter. So Sainz can just go hell for leather with not much consequences. He knows he's going at the end of the season, so let's just give it a go. So Sainz will just be off the cuff, like, you know, Sainz won't have any chains on him, you know, he'll be let free. Whereas for Lewis, it's this weird vibe of like, yeah, he'll want Mercedes to be competitive, but not too much. Yeah, he'll want to do well this season, but not too well, to the point where he starts regretting it, regretting leaving. So it's weird, man. It's a weird one. But yeah, I hated hearing people hyping up Antonelli if they know him about his driving and just going straight into F2 means we'll immediately dominate. I know, it's mad. It's mad. It's just it's the thing of like, but imagine if he did. I mean, to expect him to go into F2 and dominate is mad. You know, he's done very well in junior categories. In fact, I think I saw on TikTok someone reading out his stats or something, and he's like won every championship he's been in for the last 7 years or something like that. Like, he hasn't lost a championship since he was like 13 years old or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't know what's wrong with that Prema. But I was watching quali last night, expecting magic. Do you know what I mean? Expecting that, all right, the Prema might not be good, but he'll still slap a top 5. But it just shows, actually, at the end of quali, at the end of F2 quali yesterday, I was sat there, I was going, nobody's magic, are they? Nobody. It doesn't matter how much hype you've got. Nobody's superhuman. At the end of the day, if the Prema's not that good, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if the Prema's not that good, he can't just pull up trees and perform magic tricks. But anyway, I've been waffling for the first 10 minutes of this session, but Hamilton is out onto the track. I think the first 10 minutes, actually, no one really ventured out onto the circuit. But Hamilton's out there now. Obviously, purple sector 1 and 2, because he's got no one to beat. So yeah, Hamilton with the first lap time of the day. I guess they're just thinking it's too early, the track's too hot for it to be anything representative. So not a lot of on-track action at the minute, but as the minutes tick down, the action will ramp up. Yeah, it's rare to see a driver like Piastri win F2 and win F3 and then win F2. I think Leclerc did it, did he? Oh no, did Leclerc? Yeah. There's not many do it, yeah. There's not many F3 champions that go and win F2 in the first season, you know. And when they do, you know, it's the biggest talents, usually, probably. Yeah, I think Leclerc did it. Hamilton did it, I think. But yeah, there's not many that do that. And do you know what's mad? Even though Piastri did that, he still had to have a year on the sidelines. So Piastri won F3 and F2 back to back and still didn't get an F1 seat for the following season. What more have you got to do? It's mad how this sort of backlog of like all these young kids coming through and not enough seats at the top for them. You know, so even Oscar Piastri had to do a year in the sidelines before eventually leaving the Alpine Driver Academy and going to McLaren. But we need more teams, don't we? Andretti rejected. Absolute Outrage. But yeah, here we go. Biggest surprise from yesterday's F2. Yeah, Ritomo Miata is actually one of the drivers that I'm more interested in. Yeah, Miata, Antonelli, Ollie Behrman. That's a bit of my British support coming in, but yeah, Ritomo Miata is a really interesting one because he's come from winning the, what is it called, the GT 500 and Super Formula in Japan. So he's clearly good in different disciplines. You know, that's got to be the sign of a great driver. If you can win in a sort of GT car and an open wheel, a Super Formula is probably quite, well, you know, it's similar in a way to F2. I don't know what the speed difference is actually, Super Formula versus F2, but I imagine it's quite similar. But that just shows if you can win in a GT championship, win an open wheel championship, you're pretty good. And like you say, he'll start starting P5. Yeah, yeah, he was sixth, wasn't he? But like you say, with Kush Maney being getting the big delete, moves everyone up one. So yeah, P5. And they do a reverse grid lineup. Well, the top 10 reverse, don't they, for the sprint race? Which isn't a bad idea, actually. Yes, Mark. Welcome in, bro. The Haas gossip. Oh, the Haas gossip is that Haas might not be slowest. I think. Unless SHT's got any more in it. But yeah, apparently the long run pace of Nico Hulkenberg in the Haas yesterday evening wasn't that bad. You know, and everybody's presumption, including mine, is that Haas are just stone dead last, no hope, 19th and 20th every single race, and, you know, come back in 25. But it might not be that simple. I hope it's not that simple. You know, you don't want any team just like with no chance where your only competition is your teammate. You know, there's a couple of years at Haas for Mick Schumacher that was like that. And there was a couple of years at Williams for George Russell that was like that, where it's just, we're the slowest, just try and beat my teammate all year, which is, you know, not ideal, is it, that? So I hope it's not like that for Haas. Because I've always rated K-Mag. I've always overrated K-Mag, to be honest with you. If I'm being absolutely brutally honest with myself, I've always overrated Kevin Magnussen. I've always thought that give him a shot in a top team and it would be electric. Probably not the case, but I always liked throughout the years that K-Mag's not afraid of getting his elbows out. And he's got this attitude of, you try and overtake me, you're either getting pushed onto the gravel, off the circuit, or we're having a crash, or you don't overtake me. He used to have that ruthless about him, and I liked it because it made him a bit different. It made him a bit different. I mean, you wouldn't want to be racing against him, but to watch, it does make it quite entertaining when he's fighting for P15 as if it's the last lap of the championship, and you know, you've got to love that. So I always rate K-Mag, and it'd be just a shame. And he did get like a sort of fluky pole position in Brazil a couple of years ago, so you know, he's not absolutely shocking, is he? So it'd be a shame that if they just running round 19th and 20th. So hopefully it's not. Anyway, Leclerc, purple middle sector. A lot of the drivers are out now. About half the field is out on circuit. And Leclerc goes quickest then by a tenth of a second. 1:32.677 for Charles Leclerc with 44 minutes to go. But yeah, cars starting to now head out onto track. 15 minutes in. O'Sullivan looked decent as well, yeah. Yeah, it'd be good to follow the F2 this year properly. I'm looking forward to it. I like the first. I'm not gonna lie. The first couple of races, I'm gonna be winging it because I'm still trying to learn. It's not about who's driving for what team. It's just about identifying them quickly. So you see the yellow car and you know it's him. You know it's just that where I'm going to be rusty in the first couple of races of F2. I'm going to be a bit like, and it's Oliver Behrman down the inside. You know, it's going to be a bit like I'm still learning. Then be smooth. Then it'll be smooth after the first 2 or 3 races. Then I'll know. I'll have registered who's who, what's what. And then we're all right. But it's just last night I was watching F2 quali. I was watching it. I was like, right, yellow car. That's Cushmaney. Then I was like, right, that one that's sponsored by Kick. That's, Fittipaldi. I was like, right, okay. Then Kimi Antonelli's car is quite obvious. It's that like the red and white with the number 4. I was like, that's Kimi Antonelli, right? The red and white one with the number 3, that's Behrman, right? Okay. And I'm like trying to register it and like lock it in as a core like memory. Which is hard to do in one qualifying session, but I'm trying to lock in the knowledge, trying to soak it up like a sponge, you know. Because that's all you've got to go, and there's no point in learning like, oh, this driver drives for Invicta, this driver drives for MP Motorsport. It doesn't matter. Just what does it look like on a glance? That's what you've got to know. You just got to show you a clip, and you go, yeah, that's bum. So that's what I'm trying to do. So bring on F2, man. Bring on F2. I can't wait for it. Sprint race after this. Yes, Brownie, mate. How we doing? Yeah, no worries, mate. Cheers for popping in, lad. Good to see you. Come back tonight, Brownie, for quali. First proper stream. Well, first proper session of the season. This is just practice, you know. Get into it tonight. 3:45. Well, tonight, this afternoon. 3:45 quali. Yes, Anto, welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome in. And Magnussen goes quickest. This championship's wide open. Oh, K-Mag P1. Oh, Stroll P1. Listen, everybody that crosses the line is going to go P1. The track's getting better. The track's cooling down as the day goes on. More grip, so... Me reading into it is just rookie error. Norris coming around the final corner, and so it's Stroll, Magnussen, Leclerc. I'll take that top 2 right now. Lock that in for the race. Norris, slower than Stroll and Magnussen. Game on, baby. I'm glad we managed to watch more great rising young talents on the F2 grid. Now having dangerous paid drives of Roy Niss, and he keeps crashing. Yeah. It's a great lineup. Like, there's at least 10 drivers there in F2 that are like come with a lot of hype, like, you know, F3 champion or F3 runner-up or rookie of the year in F2 last year, or, you know, a good half of that F2 grid has got the potential to win the championship, you know. So in light of what may be a dominated F1 season, F2's going to slap either way. So bring it on. Bring it on. Russell's gone purple middle sector around the final corner. Should go fastest. And does by half a second. Oh, there comes Verstappen's on a lap. Verstappen's on a lap here. Yeah, he's 1.1 off. Oh, he's on the hards, that's why. the Red Bull are absolutely chilling, aren't they? Everyone else is on the soft tyres, giving it a bit of a quali run. And they send Max out on the hard tyres. We don't need to show nothing. We don't even need to breathe. We don't need to do anything drastic. Championship's on. Guys, Verstappen 1.4 seconds off the pace. I wish. Well, no, I don't wish that. I don't wish that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want Verstappen to be well off the pace. I just want him to have some competition. You know, I'm not sat here, I hate Verstappen, anything to see him lose. Nah. I just want someone to challenge him this year. That's all I'm asking. You know, as long as it's close. I don't really mind who wins as long as it's close. Magnussen on fire. Dennis Hauger's still there. Yeah, former 2021. Yeah, exactly. Both Red Bulls are on hard tyres. They're just absolutely... Yeah, they're just chilling. They don't need to panic. Alonso purple sector 1. So at the moment with 37 minutes to go, it's Russell, Leclerc, Sainz 1, 2, 3. The top 10 all on the soft tyres, down to Bottas, and then Verstappen is on the hards. Well, both Red Bull on the hards. Here comes Alonso then. So Alonso purple sector 1 and 2, so should go quickest in theory, and does. Alonso by nearly 3 tenths. Well, no, sorry, 2 and a bit tenths. So Alonso showing early pace in the Aston Martin, not too bad. Stroll goes 5th then in the other Aston. So it's Alonso, Russell, Leclerc, Sainz, Stroll, top 5. It's a hard one to... Aston Martin are a hard one to predict this season because they've not got that hype that they had this time last year where it was... and that hype was legit. You know, sometimes hype actually turns out to be true. You know, the hype was this time last year, Alonso's going to challenge, and he did. You know, it wasn't just a load of bollocks, whereas a lot of hype is. It's just all overdone and, you know, it's just stupid. Everyone gets carried away with themselves, but it was actually legit. You know, Aston Martin come in on smoke at the beginning of last season. Alonso virtually getting a podium in like the first 8 races or whatever it was. So the hype was real, but this season they've not really been spoken about. I don't know whether Aston Martin are the 5th fastest team or on par with the 2nd fastest team. I have no idea. But that's what's great about race 1, isn't it? That's what's great about the beginning of a season. You don't really know until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Then we get a first taste. Ricciardo on a lap in the RB. He's 7 tenths off the pace to the middle sector though, so he won't be going quickest, I'll tell you that. Messing about with not looking good for Lando Norris here. They've got the front of the car off, playing around with the suspension. So I don't know if it's such a great start to the season for McLaren, you know. Lando, in his interviews the last few days, has been downbeat about it as well, which doesn't fill me with confidence. Liam Lawson. Oh, so Liam Lawson is still the reserve driver at RB. I don't know if he's sort of wasted there. Can Liam Lawson not do F2? Is Liam Lawson an F2 champion or not? I don't know that. Because if he's not, you'd probably be better putting him in F2, wouldn't you? Or maybe he's champion from a couple of years ago. I don't know. Or was he Super Formula champion, Liam Lawson? I don't know. But a year on the sidelines is not. You'd rather, I think, if I was a driver, I think I'd rather, although it lines you up in with a chance of getting an F1 seat, I think I'd just rather just be like, nah, I'm going racing in World Endurance Championship, or rather than standing around for a year on the off chance. There's no guarantee. You could stand around for a year as a reserve driver and then not get a seat the following year anyway, and now you've just wasted a year. So unless it was absolutely guaranteed, unless the team said to you, right, you're going to be a reserve driver, but we've got a contract, sign the contract, you're in for the following season, then all right, go on then. We'll have a year with headphones on in the garage. But if there's no guarantee, I think you're wasting a year. And you've a short career as a racing driver, do you know what I mean? Well, as any sports professional, you've a short career, you've 10 years, 15 years if you're absolutely one of the best in the world. You don't be wasting a year. Anyway, Albon's on a lap. Come on, Alex. Where's Williams this year? You know, it's another big question mark. Have Williams taken a step forward? From what I heard from testing, they've made a lot of changes to that car, and both Albon and Sargent have been struggling to get to terms with it. But I think in the long term, it's good because the car has more potential for development and things like that. So Williams have really changed it, but it might mean that the first few races might be a bit dodgy for them before they start coming good again. So I don't know. Williams is a difficult one to predict. He's backed out of it as well. So Albon was on a lap, but he's bailed out of it. So it's still Alonso quickest from Russell, Leclerc, Sainz, Stroll, and Magnussen, top 6. Then it's Albon, Norris, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Ocon, Hulkenberg, then Verstappen P14. This championship is on. Nah, wait, well, when Verstappen gets on the softs, everyone will start packing up then, do you know what I mean? The thing is, though, right, Red Bull are playing it really cool, aren't they? But at some point, you've got to stick the soft tyres on and do a quali run, haven't you? Because you wouldn't want... Look at that rear wing flapping around on the Red Bull. But you wouldn't want Max's first laps on the soft tyre to be in Q1, would you? Sure, you want a bit of prep. So you're going to have to get the sandbags out eventually, is what I mean. Surely. Or will they just back it? They know they're that far ahead that they won't even run a soft tyre until quali. They might not even run a soft tyre until Q2. They might just back a medium in Q1 anyway. So we're over halfway through the final practice session now. About half the cars are out there. Still working on Lando Norris's McLaren though. Replay Lewis Hamilton into turn 9, turn 10. Oh, big lock up front left. In fact, we haven't seen that as much this year as in previous years. locking up into turn 10. It's always been a problem for front locking throughout the years, but I've only seen it 2 or 3 times. Even throughout testing, you didn't really see it. But Lewis falling into the old trap. Look at this. The Alpine pink livery. Yeah. What a blag. What an absolute blag. That is the Alpine with the pink livery. The pink special livery. Brackets, 90% raw carbon. Yeah, 90% unpainted carbon. But this is a pink car. Absolute joke. Like, it's almost... they must be laughing behind the scenes going, this is just a blag. Alpine with the pink livery. But the livery might not be the worst thing. The livery might not be in the top 10 problems for Alpine at the moment. I think they're seriously in trouble this season, Alpine, by the look of this. We're at the moment, 12th and 17th on the... Thing is, if Haas aren't that bad, then who's at the back? Guan Yu Zhou in the Sauber or what? Alpine could end up at the back. Like, if the Haas isn't as bad as rumoured, Sauber being slowest won't help the Audi executives on towards a deal, will it? Do you know about Audi buying that Sauber team? I'm not fully convinced, me. I'm not fully convinced that is going to be Audi in 2026. I don't think that's 100% certain at all. I think there's a chance that deal never happens, and that Kick and Stake and whatever it is have that team longer than 2 years. I just think there's a chance that Audi look at it and go, how many millions is this costing? How many years is it going to take us to get to the front? How many staff are we going to have to employ? How much have we got to improve the facilities? Oh, they might go, oh, do we need this? Do we need this? I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced that Audi will go ahead with this. I hope they do. You know, major car manufacturing, F1, is only good for the sport. You know, I liked it when BMW and Toyota were in, and Honda, like 10 years ago. But big car manufacturers is good, but I don't know if they... Is it that cost effective if you're not at the front? Do you know what I mean? If you're P9 in constructors or P10, how profitable is this game? If you're running around 17th and 19th, how profitable is it? You probably have to sink a load of money into it before you get anything back. Anyway, here comes Russell. 24 minutes to go. Starting a flying lap. Come on then, George. Let's show a bit of pace now. Come on then, George. What are they doing with Lewis's Mercedes as well? That's in bits. Will Lewis even come out again, looking at the state of that Mercedes in the garage being taken apart? I don't think Lewis is going to come out again, to be honest. Do you know, I'm surprised that that tiny little strip of carbon on the Mercedes front wing can withstand the G-force, can withstand the loads. It's like a 3 mil strip of carbon fibre on that top plane of the front wing. I'm surprised it doesn't just snap under the load. Think of the load when that's going 220 mile an hour down the straight or whatever it is. Well, not quite that. Well, it's that in Mexico, but 170. That is strong. Russell then slots into second. Tsunoda's gone fourth as well in the RB, but track's improving. Alonso still quickest though. They're going to adverts. GG's. So it's Alonso, Russell, Leclerc, Tsunoda. Only half a second down in P4. Obviously, it's only practice, but qualifying's going to be very interesting this afternoon. And Red Bull still refusing, absolutely point blank refusing to show their hand. They're just not interested. Perez is 19th. 1.8 seconds off the pace on a hard tyre. Red Bull are trying to keep it. Red Bull are trying to keep it a secret for as long as they possibly can before breaking everyone's heart, aren't they? Imagine they don't though. Imagine Red Bull being this cocky and then it turns out they end up like P4 on the grid. Imagine they're this confident and then they're not actually quickest. Oh, that'd be savage. That'd be savage. Ooh-wee. So at the top, is Ocon on softs on that time? Does it even say on there? Oh, I'll have to wait till it comes back on the TV. And why is Hamilton a second off Russell as well? What's that about? Yeah, Ocon is on the soft. So Ocon's 1.4 off. Wow, Ocon's 1.4 off on the soft tyre. Are Alpine slowest? Absolute scenes if Alpine is slowest, you know. All these celebrities jumping on board thinking they're going to win F1. All these celebrities with the big millions jumping on it. Footballers, actors, bloody all the rest of it. All thinking they're jumping on a winning ticket and then they show up and this is the slowest team. Oh my God. That would be ruthless. Alpine are a factory team. Alpine are supposed to be battling for like podiums. You're a factory team with a factory engine supported by Renault, which is one of the biggest car manufacturing companies in the world, and you're going to come out with the slowest. I mean, surely not, innit? Surely not. But it's not looking good. Here's Ocon then coming around the final corner. He's P12 at the moment. Across the line, 33 flat. So he's gone slower in the final sector and doesn't improve. Jesus. That's on the softs as well. So look at the gap between Ocon and Hulkenberg. But the thing is, Magnussen in the other Haas on the same tyre is 0.6 quicker than Ocon. I mean, I don't know what Bottas and Zhou have even done, to be fair. And what's up with McLaren? Where are McLaren? Oh, Perez is on the softs. Here we go. Right, Perez is starting a flying lap on the soft tyre now. Come on, Checo, let's have a look. Oh, Christian Horner's back on the pit wall. Come on, we need to see Checo's sector times. What's happening here? How quick is this car? Is it a write-off? Or what are we talking about here? Down into turn 10 for Perez. In what is probably Red Bull's first lap of the weekend on the soft tyre, I would have thought. Maybe they did a bit last night, or it's purple sector 1. Of course he is. Oh, he's 3.5 tenths up on Alonso through the middle sector. Not crazy, is it? The track will be a little bit more rubbered in. Alonso set that time like half an hour ago, so if he's only 3 or 4 tenths quicker than Alonso, it's not too bad. If he's like 8, 9 tenths, I'd be worrying. 3.5. 3.5 tenths quicker, alright. That's not criminal. It's not criminal. If he went a second quicker then, I think I'd have ended the stream and come back next March. No joke. That was a critical lap for the channel, that. This is the lap, right. So Verstappen's on the soft tyre, right. If he's over a second quicker than Perez, right, end the stream, delete the channel. Please, no. This is actually big. This is bigger than it should be. This lap, this lap's more important than it should be. Because this is Verstappen on a soft tyre here, probably on a bit of a quali sim. All right, he's 2 tenths up on Perez. I'll put him half a second ahead. He's going to go 6, 7. Ooh. It's going to be the 30s, isn't he? It's going to be a 30.8, this, isn't it? Something. Oh, don't dominate that much. Okay. Oh, that's okay. He lost a bit in the final sector. Right, now we're game on. We're still in this season. We're still... It's not over. All right. He's only... Okay, it's not that... It's not that bad. It's not ridiculous, that. I mean, they might have told him, listen, just hold back a little bit, don't go all guns a-blazing on every curb and giving it the full, on the edge of traction. Just take it a bit easy. But still, at least he hasn't just slapped him by a second. At least. If there's any glimmer of hope this season, at least he hasn't just gone out and slapped them all by a second. It's only a couple of tenths. And it's only about 4 tenths to Alonso. And Alonso set that lap half an hour ago. Well, that's season on, isn't it? Season saved. Oh no, going even faster. Is he on another lap? Don't tell me. Yes, Will Rally, mate. How's it going? Good to see you back for another year on the channel. Hope you can strong. So happy F1 back, looks like Red Bull team to beat again. Yeah. I'm just gauging by how much is Red Bull the team to beat? What kind of domination are we looking at? Are we looking at 2023 levels, or worse? Or are we looking? Is everyone catching up a little bit? So I don't know. Too early to say, but qualifying will give us a clearer picture this afternoon. But at least in this practice session, well, it's still 12. There's still 13 minutes to go, but at least Verstappen hasn't just whacked a set of soft tyres on and gone a second quicker than everyone. That'd be like, you know, everyone just pack up and go home. But it's not that bad. Aston of it, Alonso's pace has actually impressed me here, to be honest. Alonso's pace has impressed me. He is looking fast. And Stroll goes P3. All right. Is this Aston? Aston's showing up here now. Aston is showing up. Oh, now the McLarens are out as well. Oh, now he's heating up now. He's heating up now. We've got 12 minutes to go. The McLarens are on flying laps. Here comes Alonso to the line then. Go on. Beat the Red Bulls. Game on, mate. Game fucking on. Game fucking on, mate. Let's fucking on. Go on. I know it's only FP3, but go on. Norris has gone purple middle sector. Hello? Hello? Go on then. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. And now, there's a caveat. Red Bull might be running with a full tank of fuel and telling the drivers to chill out a bit. But still, I'm taking, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm taking every slither and shining hope and positivity and turning it into an overblown, but I've got to, for my own sanity. I can't sit here and go, oh, Verstappen. Listen, Alonso's gone quicker. Ooh. I'll probably look back at this practice session when we're 16 races into the season and Verstappen's won all 16, I'll probably look back at this practice session and go, do you remember when I had a bit of hope? Do you remember when Alonso went quickest in the final practice session in Bahrain and I thought that the championship was on? Do you know what I mean? I will. I'll look back in 17 races time and go, we had hope. We had hope for one day. But you got to take it, haven't you? Oh, Mercedes are not there, bro. Mercedes are not there. Hamilton's half a second off. Right, well, what is this? What have we got here? Aston v Red Bull v McLaren for pole. Where are Ferrari, by the way? Hey, is Alonso in with a shout here? Yeah, quali's tonight. Well, quali is this afternoon, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. UK time, so I'm going live at 3:45, you know, a bit of a hello, how we doing, how are you? And then we get into quali. 4 p.m. But I'm even doing a stream before that. I'm doing the F2 sprint race after this. So 3 streams today, so get in. Russell goes P4, only 2/10 off the pace. This is warming up nicely, you know. Yeah, Russell quick. Sounds like you're having a second thoughts. Mate, I'm fully up for second thoughts, third thoughts, fourth thoughts. You have to be careful saying that. Fifth thoughts. Mate, I'm fully up for second thoughts. I have no idea. I mean, this is hyping up quali, that's for sure. Alonso quicker than Verstappen. Then Norris, Russell, Piastri. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, quali's going to be interesting. Because either Verstappen's been chilling, because look at this, Verstappen's not improved sector 1. Either Red Bull have just been absolutely chilling, or Aston and McLaren and Mercedes are genuinely in the mix. Okay. This is interesting. Genuinely. Qualifying. Oh, this could be interesting, I was fully expecting Verstappen, even in this session, just to slap them all by a second and just be like, just tell them that you've got no chance. But it's not happened. Whether that's by choice of the team, maybe they've put more fuel in the car, maybe they've told Max just to keep the mystery going for a bit longer and not give it full beans, whether they turn the engine down. But it's certainly looking more interesting than I thought it was going to be. If that's any conclusion to draw, I don't know. Yeah, F2 stream, Red Bull Tractor. I'll back it, Carl. I'll fully back it. No, I can't because I'm setting myself up to have my dreams shattered. I know I am, but I've had my dreams shattered before. Give a damn. I'm setting myself up for a big fall here, aren't I? I'm like, this could be really interesting. 5 teams in with a chance of pole. And then this afternoon, cut to me this afternoon going, oh, Verstappen pole by 2 seconds. Fucking. Oh, no. Look at Gasly. Mate, the Alpine's done. It's a second and a half off. Where Ferrari, did they not do a run at the end? I don't think Ferrari have even bothered. That's Alpine are not looking good, mate. Oh, Alpine are not looking good, bro. Yeah. I know Lewis not getting pole, but hope Alonso beats Max. Yeah. I think there's half a chance, isn't there? Thing is, there's not been a lot said about. I was saying before, like, Aston Martin have been really under the radar. They come into the last season with loads of hype. This season, not a lot been said about them, but go on, Nico Hulkenberg. Go on. Yes, top 10. Nico Hulkenberg. All right. Haas who got something to say. Everybody writing them off. Yeah, Ferrari going to do a lap. There's only 6 minutes to go. Ricciardo goes P9. Hulkenberg quicker than Ricciardo and Stroll. Maybe the Haas isn't that bad, you know. Do you want really think Ferrari to be that far off? No, Ferrari coming out now. Ferrari is showing the hand now. Here they come. Sainz, personal best sector 1 and 2. Alpine is shite. No, Denver's in Bangkok, so he is having a piss up, but he's certainly not streaming it. Denvercast will be next weekend. Denver's having a whole different kind of a piss up in Bangkok, so he won't be on any streams in the next few days, I'm telling you that. Sainz goes quickest. Listen, I'm fully up for this. Bring on quali. Bring on quali. Sainz on a 30.8. Lewis is going for another run, but he's slow in the first sector, so that's that blown. If Ferrari, McLaren and Aston all look quick, where do Mercedes stand in this? Mate, I'm not even bigging this up. This qualifying session this afternoon is the most interesting qualifying session for a long time, I'll tell you that. For a long time. Probably since the first round of 22, because 23 we knew, innit? There's a little bit of unpredictability here. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it. Oh, buzzing with this. Well, Hamilton had a good final sector, but the lap was already done for. What's Leclerc doing? Leclerc nowhere near Sainz in the first sector, though. I think Danny Rick Irby put his foot down. I think Williams could be the slowest car. No, I think Alpine slowest. Like genuinely, it could be Alpine slowest. I think it could be between Alpine and Sauber, and then Williams and Haas maybe ahead of that. I don't even know. I hope Williams aren't slowest because he made good progress last season. Albon was able to get a few points last season, so they were on the up a little bit. I hope they're not slowest. You know, Albon deserves a decent car. Leclerc goes P4, 3/10 off his teammate. It's close though. Hamilton's not really got a lap together in this session. 2.5 minutes to go. Hamilton's not really got a lap together, but Sainz, Alonso, Verstappen, top 3. I wonder where Sainz will end up next year. I wonder if Mercedes will take a Ferrari cast off. Would Sainz get the Mercedes seat? I think there's a chance of that. Russell Sainz. I don't know if it's as strong though. Why is Lewis 11? Yeah, I don't think Lewis has really got a clean lap together, to be honest. Is all I can think. I don't think he's sort of got 3 nice sectors together and put it together a lap. So he's down in 12th. Here comes Magnussen to the line, goes 14th. So, yeah, the Haas isn't that bad. The Haas by any means is not stone dead last and come back next year. Ocon 2.2 off the pace in the Alpine. Oh, mind you, he's on a lap now, so he'll improve from that. 1:20 to go. Ocon on a lap, currently P20. Yeah, Haas are doing okay. Hulkenberg's in the top 10. So they're not awful as what was rumoured. But this Alpine. I mean, do Alpine just scrap this and go back to last year's car? Or what? Is this Alpine quicker than last year's Alpine? Well, I'd say probably not. Oh my God, no. Alpine are done, mate. Alpine are done. Mate, Alpine aren't getting out of Q1, are they, this afternoon? Alpine aren't getting out of Q1 this afternoon. Genuinely shocked here. Shot the Gunter Steiner left Haas. Yeah. Yeah, but then again, though, they've not really had good results, have they, though? Let's face it. Like, he's a good personality, but in the end, it's a results-based business, isn't it? You know, and there's only so many years you can be like last in constructors and still carry on because you've got this great personality and you say it how it is. Yeah, but at the end of the day, they need better results. And I think he probably had a bit of a falling out with Gene Haas as well over the funding of the team and stuff. Hey, here's one for your SHT, right? And I only learnt this like yesterday. You might have known this for years, but I found this out yesterday. The reason why Gene Haas doesn't come to all of the races and he's only ever on the phone and he's never actually there is because he's got a criminal record and he's not allowed. The man's been in prison for tax evasion. He got charged like 38 million or something, or I can't remember. Man's been in prison. He's got a criminal record, so he can't fly around the world to all the races. I never even knew that. Gene Haas. is a criminal. Well, no, but do you know what I mean? He's been convicted of serious tax evasion. Maybe it's probably years ago. It's probably in the 70s or 80s or whatever. But even so, that's why he doesn't come round the world. Because I never put two and two together. I never thought, why is Gene Haas never at the races? It's his team. He's never there. He's only ever on the phone. And then I don't know if it was yesterday I was watching something, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, he's not allowed." I'm like, it all makes sense. Yeah, you knew it a long time. I had no clue. I had no clue. I'd never put two and two together in my mind of thinking, why is he never at the races? I've never even questioned it. You just never see him at a Grand Prix. Man's been done years ago. Yeah, so well, if you didn't know that, you do now. I didn't know it. Oh, right, that's the end of FP3 anyway. They're going to do some practice starts, but that is it. So it's Sainz from Alonso, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Piastri, Perez, Hulkenberg, Stroll, top 10 in final practice. Verstappen hasn't slapped everyone by a second and a half. He might do this afternoon, but until then, there's a glimmer of hope. There is a glimmer of hope for the 2024 F1 season, and that is all I can hope for in the final practice session. There's a glimmer of hope. So, so please do join me. I'll be back in about half an hour for the F2 sprint. I've got to mess with the settings and background and stuff and try and get something ready for that. So yeah, I'll be back in about half an hour for the F2 sprint. I'll try and get live timings up, but it'd be on a different website. I'll have to try and rig it up. I'll try and get live timings on, and we'll try and do commentary on F2. It'll be a bit rusty, and then after that, we'll be back at 3:45 for F1 quali for what looks a very interesting session. Aston looking quick, McLaren looking quick, Ferrari looking quick. And obviously, Red Bull will be there as well. But yeah, peace out, guys. Thank you all for joining. Please do drop a like on the stream. It helps YouTube find me. And hopefully you come back later on today. 2 more streams to go. But yeah, F2 Sprint and F1 Quali later on. But yeah, cheers, guys. Peace out. And catch you in a bit.